Still the clouds may darken and light turn to gloom. Still the moon over the chamber roams.
According to coaching, this is what we should say. Excuse me, do you sell the moon here?
Yes. How many would you like?
It's not convenient to speak of numbers here.
Ah, well said. Please, use this to ascend to the chamber.
Yep.
And yet the code they used was not the one for guess.
Exhausted. If we hadn't happened to see the Jade Chamber flying over just as we came... Did we make it in time? Is the Overlord of the Vortex...
What are you doing here?
Huh? Hold on. It's the Adepti. What are you doing on the Jade Chamber? Paimon...
Faced with a calamity of such magnitude, we...
Oh, Paimon gets it. So how do you plan... Just seeing this Overlord of the Vortex guy puts a pin...
It's not just you. We've got new Millilith recruits who can't even stand... Which is why we must stop that monster before it gets any...
So the Archon War was fought 2,000 years... So will the power of the Chising, Millilith, and Adepti gathered here...
We've already discussed this together, and our conclusion is...
What? Wait, all of you are supposed to be the guardians of...
One certainly could.
Huh?
The Chising did once research the matter of the Guizhong, and as fate would have it, one who did For what could you mortals ever learn of it?
I suppose this is one blessing. So be it. We shall use the upgraded Guizhong bullet. We haven't a moment to spare. Yep.
The three Adepti are manning the Guizhong Ballista. Do not let the Fatui disturb their work!
All able Millilith, with me!
Let's go help too!
We Adepti have not faced a god in several millennia. Let one see what you're made of then. What strength remains within you, one wishes to witness.
Let's move. Let's move.
From whence you came, a touch of frost.
You can't run! Well, harden up. I must collect.
That is Osial's divine power. I am very familiar with it. Be careful not to get hit.
The Fatui! Their attacks are unrelenting!
How daring. Snezhnai's diplomats will answer for this afterward. Every last one.
Let the show begin.
A touch of...
The ancient gods attacking again! There are so many Fatui too! We can't look!
Were you about to say we can't hold them, children?
Huh?
Don't lose heart. Here, take this.
This is adeptal energy! That light from your body, it's like the time in giant cars! Wow, it's Madame Ping's shockwave! This granny's really strong!
My word!
My blade!
I guess this is it. Time to fulfill my duty.
Derek blade!
With the blood of the Chilean, I guard you against evil! Cast your fear of injury by the wayside, and fight with all your might! I too did this during the Archon War!
So this is what Ganya's like in a fight!
My name means swiftness. Take my power and run as I do.
We're going too fast!
Child, you are strong in body and spirit. Perhaps you can withstand 3 forms of adeptal energy at once.
This will hurt a little. Please bear with us.
Once you've adapted, try to use them in battle.
Yes, this is it. Cold cut plum.
Spirit blade! Attack!
My word. Finish.
One with my blade! From whence you came!
Exercise caution! I fear that the god's power has reached its peak! In other words, if we hold here, there's nothing worse to come, right?
Spirit blade! Swift and merciful!
Yes, this is it.
From whence you came! One with my blade! Spirit blade! Attack! A touch of frost! From whence you came!
The Fatui's numbers are thinning!
Fight on, comrades! Once we finish this lot off, the Adepti will be able to deal with the god in peace!
The interlopers are no more. Now we may commit ourselves fully.
It's working! We just need to keep this up!
Be careful now.
The Guizhong ballista is destroyed. Without its covering fire, retaliation shall be difficult.
But the Jade Chamber is our last line of defense. We can't give another inch, no matter what.
I have another idea.
What do you mean, Lady Ningguang?
I'll sacrifice the Jade Chamber.
What is the meaning of this?
I understand.
Traveler, lend me a hand. Farewell, old friend. Goodbye for now. Let us meet again in the future.
Is it finally over?
The ominous aura of that monster has indeed... The effects of the Sigil of Permission last but a short time. It will be some time before the
We are indebted to you for your assistance. If the Adepti hadn't happened to be here, the future of...
Save your flatter.
Come now. There's no need for such harsh words, Cloud Retainer. I've heard that when Ningguang began learning to do business, she had already started setting aside part of her then limited income in preparation for building the Jade Chamber. At first, it was only the size of a small room, but with continued expansion it has become the palace that lies before you now. It is a testament to Ningguang's entire life, both as a businesswoman and as the backbone of the Liyue Qixing. Seeing the Jade Chamber destroyed in the defense of Liyue means much to her. To me, such cooperation and sacrifice deserves at least some recognition, don't you agree?
Well, I was really hoping you would say that such sacrifice could at least be used as some leverage in our negotiations. Thank you all for hearing me out. We know very well why the Adepti came here today. But please forgive us. We cannot yield to your wishes.
Oh?
3,700 years. According to our records, the Adepti signed a contract with Rex Lapis to protect Liyue 3,700 years ago. Even to this very day, Liyue and its lands have stood the test of time, immovable as stone, just as it was thousands of years before. This is truly no small feat. But that does not mean that the Liyue of today is the same city as it was all those years ago. Do not merely cast your protective gaze upon the land. Instead, focus your sights on our city and each of the citizens that dwell within it.
Are you questioning our means of protecting Liyue?
I mean no offense. I simply hope that our Adepti forebears would see Liyue in a new light.
Forebearers, you say? One doubts you would be fit to be part of such a lineage.
This morning, Rex Lapis appeared to me in a dream.
What?
In the dream, I yearned to tell him that we Qixing. I also thought to tell him how the past generations of Qixing had strove under his rule to survive in our mortal world, establishing a network of contracts which has since come to be known as trade. But I dared not speak.
Oh, Ningguang.
Yet another perspective. What?
Right! That's something that happened in Mondstadt. It's a story about the four winds and the animal Archon sought to quell the strife between the two sides, because he believed that
Each of the 7 nations has its own scars from the past.
Though your point is the very height of simplicity, as Adepti, we've become a laughingstock.
All right, all right. Didn't Ningguang suggest that we should focus?
I apologize for appearing in full armor. I am afraid.
And who are you?
I am Feng Yan, a sergeant of the Millelith. I thought this battle would perhaps be my last. But thanks to the aid of the Adepti, our forces were not as badly battered as I feared, although I am a mere mortal soldier.
Huh? Why does everyone look so down? Didn't we just beat that big monster?
Weren't you frightened, dear?
I wasn't afraid. All the strong Millelith guards were... When danger is near, everyone always protects me. And the rest of the... Thanks for protecting Liyue Harbor. Please.
Unfortunately, we wouldn't be it
Huh?
because we are Adepti.
Oh, okay. It must... Oh.
You see, this is what Liyue is. The country of contracts is grateful to the Adepti. Although their blood is weak, there is still strength to be found in those weak. The time of contracts between gods and Liyue has long since passed. Now is the time of contracts between Liyue and its people.
Seeing the port around us now, it is hard not to feel a bit out of place. Wouldn't you say so, Cloud Retainer?
Your line of inquiry is askew.
Seems like the Adepti have had a change of heart.
Let us return now.
Eager to leave.
Yes, one understands what the Conqueror of one fears that by the time one finally grasps the new contracts, fair enough.
Since we Adepti have consensus, but how will we ensure that the Liyue Qixing will not simply
All right, Mooncarver, you needn't worry. It seems to...
Looks like the conflict between humans and Adepti was avoided. All's well that Oh, right! It's nice that we've got peace and all, but Child wanted to unleash the god, but we were able to handle the Overlord of the Vortex. Oh, and speaking of that, don't we... Hyman doesn't get it. But isn't the strongest lead we have the Adepti-less rite of parting that we're organizing? No idea where Zhongli's gone. Let's ask for him at Wangshen Funeral Parlor.
I ride on wind and cloud alike.
Is there anything I can do for you two?
We've come to see Zhongli. Could you please—
Unfortunately, Zhongli isn't here at the moment.
Doesn't the Northland Bank belong to the Last time we saw Zhongli was before we went to the Golden. Do you think he doesn't know about the attack on Liyue? Visiting the— We had better go and make sure that everything is okay.
The fate of the Guhua Brotherhood was sealed.
What should I put in my letter?
You call this cooperation between Harbingers? Cooperation involves communication.
Don't take it to heart, child. Besides, oh, it seems that some of your friends—
Hey, it's Zhongli and Child. And you.
It's you two. I believe we've met once before. Ah, right. I imagine that it must have been rather hard to forget.
Well, if it isn't you two. This is our first time seeing each other since Liyue.
Paimon knew that we should never have trusted a—
Oh, now don't say that. Sure, I may have misled. Besides, I thought we were getting along quite well together. Nothing personal. We just have different views. That the real deceivers here are Senora and Zhongli. Curse them for leading. So actually, I think—
Stop wasting time, child. There'll be plenty of time to— You remember the agreement, Morax. Now, if you would be so kind.
What in the world are you talking about?
The contract is fulfilled. That which thou seeketh is now—
How sanctimonious.
What? So you're the Lord of Chio? No, wait! That's an exciting twist and all, but what?
I do not give it for free. I give it as agreed upon in the contract. For it is a matter solely between the Tsaritsa and I.
Yeah, you don't think you went a little bit too far with that whole fake death?
Gathering all the forces that had been
Wait, what?
Perhaps it's best that as you know, I've dwelt upon this world. Even boulders that can withstand whirlpools will erode with the passing of time, until one drizzly day, as I was strolling along the harbor, I stood motionless among the crowds, asking myself, have I already finished my duties?
Oh, Zhongli.
But as I began to consider relinquishing my divine role, I soon discovered that many reasons was Liyue, the city I had dwelt in for so long, so I feigned my own death, and gathered the Indeed I was. The Gnosis which I had That's right. Which is why I continue.
So you mean that if the chaos ever reached the—
Of course. And it would have been all too— Just as a child quickly matures after losing their parents.
I was pleasantly surprised with the finale. The Adepti deserve the greatest applause, considering their years of seclusion. And hats off to the emissary dispatched by the Cryo-Archon to fulfill it. All the while, I carried on as Zhongli, and fulfilled the traditions of These things were all a part of my script. I had expected them to do no more than the Adepti. They seized the opportunity to supplant Liyue's divine
Huh? That doesn't sound good at all.
On the contrary, I think it is excellent.
Hey, what about me? Doesn't anyone feel the least bit of remorse for—
I think that thanks would be more appropriate. You certainly— If you hadn't created the pressure of a battle between mortals, Adepti, and a god, the lump of coal—
Huh? Just whose side are you on, mocking me like that? Are you itching for a fight? Be that as it may, You've come out of this as the
Well then, with the Gnosis in my possession...
Fine. I'll meet you there later. I'm not sure...
Do as you wish.
Now then, is there anything else you wish to ask me?
Right! As Zhongli always told us, a good trade is a fair trade. Paimon had...
Realistically speaking, there is no such...
Huh?
However, I am the god of contracts. For thousands of years, my agreement with the Cryo-Archon will be the last of my contract. As for the bargaining chip that the Tsaritsa used to balance, uncover that answer for yourself in your future.
Today's the day of the rite of parting. Although the star of the show is fake, we've spent so much time trying to organize it, it would be a real shame not to go there now.
A touch of frost!
Oh, well, since we're going through with this so Rex Lapis is really... Oh, come on. Do you think that the assassin... There's only one real possibility in my mind. I've heard that the assassin was that Fatui. Shh! Lower your voice. If the Fatui...
While the Millelith stands guard, evil shall never prevail.
You know that god from the ocean couldn't have just shown up out of nowhere. I mean, it's...
Yes, and to think that this happened right up...
Say, do you think
Now that you mention it, that's very... I mean, it all fits together. That person must have colluded with the evil god. Still, what sort of supernatural prowess
forget it. Guessing's no use to us. Look, the
Hear ye all! The Chi sings, though a dragon soars ageless as the mountains, gods and Adepti live glorious lives. But rumors and hearsay abound on the streets, having been thwarted in his trial. Rex Lapis's soul, nor are they to believe street-born rumors or indulge in baseless speculation.
Daimon needs a translation on what the So that's how they're spinning it. Something feels off. Why would they suddenly give up looking for the murderer? Not to mention how this excuse sounds like something they just made up on the spot. Could the Qixing already have known that Rex... Did Zhongli tell them exactly, right? Ooh! It's Ningguang and Keqing!
As said previously, Rex...
3,700 years of contracts.
We, the people of Liyue, were indeed prosperous.
The long, unending dream of our Archon.
Now that we have awoken from our dream, will you stand with us as we re-establish our contract?
So concludes the words of Her Eminence the Tianchu. Does Her Eminence the Yuheng have anything to add?
Huh? Is she looking this?
Traveler.
Yikes! She really is looking our way!
Is that the traveler who they say defeated the ancient god?
So young!
The Liyue Qixing always repay their debts. Name your price. You did.
Whoa!
Wow, could you help me put up some missing person posters?
Rex Lap. Now perhaps mementos for Rex Lap.
The cleanup of the premises, managing the crowds as they exit.
Why, you. If you were looking for someone, you could.
Swift and merciful!
Hey, Zhongli! Look at this! Everyone in Liyue is caught up in their emotions. And here you are looking all relaxed.
Why would I not feel... Right. If the two of you can spare...
Ha! That sounds like big talk, Zhongli.
You're right. I do like them. As the Rex Lapis Morax, I can easily create... When I was journeying with you, though I still had the Gnosis in hand...
Oh, no wonder! Paimon gets it now. You didn't look at the price tags when we were spending because you've never had to. But since you weren't used to not being able to just make more and more...
Well, we were only spending Fatui money. In the City of Commerce, we do not merely exchange money, or the Archon Morax could never experience... I will treasure the memories that I made as Zhongli. Travel, that is true. But there is no journey that does not end. No meetings without partings.
Paimon thinks that we should make a move and continue...
I fear that continuing your journey may be difficult. The nation that... Yes, the nation has been closed by order of its deity. The Electro-Archon Ball. And just as the people of Liyue preferred to call me Rex Lapis, she too...
Paimon thinks we've heard that one before. Raiden?
That is the case. And since Raiden is also the Shogun...
That said, though people at the wharf were saying that the situation in Inazuma is very tense, Paimon doesn't remember that always being the case. It wasn't that bad last year. Zhongli, since you're Rex Lapis, shouldn't you know something about what's happening there? Just how did Inazuma become a closed nation?
It's because of visions.
Visions?
When faced with circumstances beyond their control, humans often bemoan their lack of power. But if a person shows true strength of will at a this is what visions are. Magical foci bestowed upon those who have been acknowledged by the god.
Uh-huh. That's how people into
But starting from last year...
Vision Hunt Decree?
Yes. It was an order to see...
They want to seize visions.
I should think that in the Raiden Shogun's eyes...
Whoa. That's harsh.
The Animo Archon is the god of freedom. And the fact that even I, the oldest, knowing her, she must have again quoted that adage she is most fond of when proclaiming that decree to her people. 7 ideals for 7 gods, and of these, eternity is nearest unto heaven. All right then. Was there anything else you wished to know? Well then, I suppose you'll have to find a way to...